You're listening to TurkishSoccer.com's podcast. My name is Ahmet Bob Turgut. Welcome to the program. In the next 15 minutes of this podcast, we'll talk about what happened this past weekend in the week 23, and we'll also talk about week 24, and we'll also talk about the semifinal matches in the Turkish Cup. It's non-stop football in the Turkish Super Lig and Plus. So stay tuned for next 15 minutes. We'll go into details and we'll talk about mostly the derby matches coming up this Saturday between Fenerbahce and Galatasaray. So let's take a look at what happened in the week 23rd. And Fenerbahce, Galatasaray they won, but Beşiktaş is losing blood. And Fenerbahce beat Hatayspor 2-1, and Galatasaray at home trashed Başakşehir 3-0, and Beşiktaş on Wednesday in Antalya against Antalyaspor. As you know, Nuri Şahin plays for Antalya, and nobody makes a noise about him. I don't think a lot of people don't even know that Nuri Şahin playing in the Turkish Super Lig with Antalyaspor. So Antalyaspor went ahead with 1-0, and then Beşiktaş came back, tied the match after Antalyaspor was only 10 men on the pitch. So Beşiktaş, there's something's wrong with Beşiktaş team. Either last touches on the team, some unlucky shots too, like against Antalyaspor. Larin's head ball went to the woods and it came off the post. If that would have been a goal, that Beşiktaş would have won. But Beşiktaş, ever since they lost to Trabzonspor at home, they're not looking good. They did not play, even though they went ahead 1-0 against Trabzonspor in the week 22. They lost that match in Istanbul against Trabzonspor. But let's face it, in that match, Trabzonspor goalkeeper, as I mentioned to you last week podcast, he was amazing. Speaking of goalkeepers, in Hatay, Fenerbahce goalkeeper saved Fenerbahce. Altay Bayındır made huge 7 saves against Hatayspor. As you know, Turkish Super League top scorer, Bofenza, even though he scored 1 goal, the only goal that Hatayspor scored, he's got 16 goals, and he's leading the league with 16 goals. I mean, he saved some amazing shots of Bofenza. Kudos to 3 great goalkeepers in the Turkish Super League. Number 1, I would say, looking at past few games, Altay Bayındır is in number 1 list. Number 2, I'm looking at Galatasaray goalkeeper, Muslera. He's doing some fantastic playing time with Galatasaray team. He saved some huge goals. Number 3 is the Trabzonspor goalkeeper, Uğurcan. 2 young Turkish goalkeepers playing for Trabzonspor and Fenerbahce. I think they should be starting for Turkish national team. So, let me run down all the scores on week 23. And as I told you, Hatay lost at home against Fenerbahce 2-1. Kayseri, a lot of the bottom teams this weekend, actually in the middle of the week that started on Tuesday, the week 23rd ended on Thursday. A lot of the teams that in the relegation zone, in the danger zone, they played each other and they tied 0-0 or with the goals draws. This is not good we come to the standings, I will tell you more about it. Kayseri at home against Alanya. Alanyaspor is losing blood too. They tied 1-1. Rizespor Kasımpaşa match that was tied 1-1. On Wednesday, Sivas at home, another two teams struggling, 0-0 score. And Karagümrük was at home, Gaziantep. Karagümrük beat Gaziantep. Konya versus Gençlerbirliği, another teams that's struggling. It was a 0-0 tie. As I mentioned to you, Antalya Beşiktaş match was also 1-1, a draw match. On Thursday, today, Göztepe at home tied with Malatya 2-2. And as I mentioned to you, Trabzon today at home against Denizlispor, the last team in the Turkish Super Lig, won the match 1-0. And Greek national team player Bakasetas scored his first goal with Trabzonspor uniform. As you know, Bakasetas came from Alanyaspor, with Alanyaspor giving his best player, their best player, Bakasetas, who is number 10, the mastermind of the midfield. Coming to Trabzon, it made a huge difference. I think Trabzonspor is on the right track. Probably in last 5-6 matches, Trabzonspor is the best formed team in the Turkish Super League. After these matches, and we're looking at the standings, Fenerbahce stays on top with 48 points. And Galatasaray is in second place. Beşiktaş dropped down to third place. Galatasaray with 45. Beşiktaş also with 45 points. But Beşiktaş will be in the third place. In fourth place, as I mentioned to you, Trabzonspor made a huge difference with new transfer in the winter transfer season coming into Trabzonspor. They are the most formed team right now looking at the standings. They're in the fourth place with 39 points. Alanya losing blood. As I told you, Alanyaspor is in fifth place with 38. And Hatayspor is in sixth place with 35. And Gaziantep with 35 also in the seventh place. And eighth place is Fatih Karagümrük with 34 points. Now, looking at the teams in the bottom, if we look at the bottom teams, as I mentioned to you, Denizlispor is in last place with 17 points, and Ankaragücü with 18 points, and Gençlerbirliği with 20 points. We have Erzurumspor with 21, Kayserispor with 23, Başakşehir, the defending champions of last year, with right now they're 24 points with Konyaspor. They are really in danger. If Başakşehir doesn't win matches in the future, you're going to be seeing Başakşehir might be in a really in deep relegation zone. So, as I mentioned to you, non-stop football. So the week 24 will start on Saturday, this coming Saturday, and it'll end on Monday. Guess what? Turkish Cup matches, semifinal matches, will start on February 9th. It'll go on. There's one match on February 9th. February 10th, there's a match. And there will be two matches on February 11th. Here are the matches before I go into... let's do the week 24. If we have time, we'll talk about the semifinal match, because I want to talk about the derby match that's coming up on Saturday between Fenerbahce and Galatasaray. Fenerbahce will play in their in their home field, but there's no fans, as you know, because of the COVID. That's one of the reasons why they're playing all these matches every 2 matches in 10 days. And looking at week 24, we have there's 4 matches on Saturday. Kasımpaşa against Hatayspor. Alanya will be at home against Rizespor. Başakşehir will be at home against Karagümrük, Fatih Karagümrük. And the most important match of the week, I should say, will be happening later on that same day on Saturday, Fenerbahce Galatasaray. Looking at the standings, Fenerbahce has edge 3 points. Fenerbahce is at 48 and Beşiktaş and Galatasaray at 45 points. Galatasaray, if they win, they will catch up with Fenerbahce. But Fenerbahce has a little advantage because they're playing at home and they're going to be comfortable playing. At least they will start the match with playing for a draw. It will probably be better for them. But all the new transfers coming into Galatasaray, and also Mesut Özil will probably, if he doesn't start, I'm sure you will see him in the second half. But Fenerbahce did a fantastic job in the winter window transfer season. But could they adapt to this derby match? This is going to be a first derby match for Mesut Özil. And Fenerbahce has a very good, solid defense after they got this young player from Hungary, Attila Szalai. And that should be an advantage. But one thing, Fenerbahce is in the midfield will probably hurt a little bit also on defense. On top, who will see, I don't know. But I think as far as goal scoring, I think Galatasaray has the edge. Galatasaray has the edge on being experienced goalkeeper, also experienced coach on the sideline. Because Muslera is a team player. And his delivery with the ball is a plus. And also Onyekuru. That's a plus for Galatasaray too. So I think this match might end up in a draw, a tie with goals. But don't be surprised if Galatasaray beats Fenerbahce in Fenerbahce Stadium. Coming into the other matches on Sunday, Ankaragücü will be at home against Sivas. Denizli will be at home against Antalya. Erzurumspor will be against Kayseri. Beşiktaş will be at home against Konya. So whatever the score will happen on Saturday, Beşiktaş will wait for Sunday. And Beşiktaş should not have any problem beating Konyaspor. But Konyaspor is desperate for points. But I wouldn't be surprised that Konyaspor makes a surprise and comes back and at least gets a draw from Beşiktaş. But Beşiktaş needs this match very, very badly. On Monday, there's 2 matches. Gaziantep will be at home against Göztepe, and Malatya will be hosting Trabzonspor, another top contender, that the best form team in the last 5-6 matches. Gençler will be having a bye, and after these matches, as I told you, Turkish Cup finals, semifinals will be playing on 9th. Fenerbahce will host Başakşehir on 10th of February. Galatasaray will be hosting Alanya, and Sivas, Antalya, Konya versus Beşiktaş will be on February 11th. So Galatasaray plays the Alanyaspor match on February 20th in the week 26th. This is it, and time's up. See you next time. Bye.